Now, you've seen countless of reincarnation anime and you feel like you've watched everything already, but what if I tell you, these following reincarnation anime are shows you haven't even seen yet? So I dug deep underground into the Shadow Realm to find hidden gems that are unwatched by so many people, and now's your chance to add all of these into your watch list. You can thank me later, so sit back and enjoy the show.
This body's so limber. I'll show you what the hero can really do.
The legendary hero who saved the world countless times, then he immediately died. Now the worst person has to replace him. This anime is really great for viewers who enjoy fantasy parody or chaotic protagonists, but instead of following a destined hero, the story kicks off by killing the actual legendary hero and forcing a complete random, morally questionable farmer to take his place by becoming the hero in the form of an undead. Now, what makes it addictive is the chaotic energy that the story brings. The main character is so lazy, is selfish, and absolutely no hero material at all, which makes it just makes every situation funnier and more ridiculous. But underneath the comedy, there's still real plot progression. The world building is great and surprisingly very solid action. You will always wonder to yourself if an average farmer with zero hero experience can truly complete the hero's duties and save the world from the demons. What if one of the greatest strategists in history was reborn and decided to conquer the music industry instead of the battlefield?
Reborn Azalea? Is this the video of the last song? Make them take it down immediately!
Hey, Nanami! Look at the video!
Now, one of the biggest underrated reincarnation anime, in my opinion, is Ya Boy Kang Ming. This anime brings a completely fresh and unique concept where it uses a reverse isekai twist where a legendary strategist from ancient China is reincarnated into modern Tokyo and becomes a music manager for a girl that works in a bar. The main character applies real military tactics to pretty much help an aspiring singer succeed in the competitive music industry, which feels both smart and super entertaining, lads. It will also truly appeal to both anime fans and even casual viewers who enjoy pop culture music and a powerful Chinese war strategist in modern-day Japan.
学園長におかれましてもご機嫌麗しゅう。
このように私の動作は全て上流階級のレディーにふさわしい。
For everyone out there who does enjoy the gender bender situation anime and a world of an otome game dating simulator, then here comes from Burrow Cat to villainous, Dad's been reincarnated. Instead of a typical noble villainous storyline, the main character is just your average middle-aged salaryman that has been reincarnated into the body of a villainess himself. The result is kinda absurd and unpredictable and very hilarious as he just navigates high school society with zero finesse. What makes it addictive is that the protagonist isn't really focused on power or even romance at first. He's just trying not to be killed by the story's events while keeping his new identity alive, because you guys know that the villainous, well, they all die at the very end. But his realistic reactions and awkward social choices are completely unexpected that make every episode surprising and funny at the same time, but keeping the viewers curious about what will happen next. But this overall just adds strong variety because most anime focus on, all that serious action and traditional isekai, but this one here, it truly brings humor and personality, so you better go watch it. Moving on to the next, here is a reverse isekai where a mighty hero slays the legendary corpse god boss that then reincarnates as an average-looking boy in modern-day Japan.
And even spirit!
Instead of a normal person being transported to another world, the powerful necromancer known as the corpse god is reborn into modern-day Tokyo. This shift creates a unique mix of dark fantasy and urban crime, which feels fresh and completely unpredictable. But what makes it so good is the way it blends supernatural battles with gang conflicts and also mystery. The main protagonist isn't trying to become stronger. I mean, he's already completely overpowered, but he's just searching for peace, while constantly being pulled into completely dangerous situations. But this creates tension and curiosity, making all you viewers, who want to know who is targeting him and just ask the question why. That all combines fantasy, action, and thriller elements in a modern setting, which will keep you hooked into watching this even more, because it's got 2 seasons of epic action. This person was once the most feared empress in the entire kingdom, but now she's using her second chance in life after being reincarnated to save lives instead of destroying them. Now she's a doctor. This anime blends reincarnation, medicinal drama or medical drama, and historical fantasy, which makes it stand out from your typical action-heavy isekai. But instead of focusing on fighting or power, the story completely centers on redemption and second chances. The main protagonist was once a cruel empress who caused suffering, but after being reborn in modern times and becoming a doctor, she is reincarnated again into her original world with the goal of saving lives and fixing her past mistakes. It makes it addictive because it's just so much emotional tension in this, truly. She already knows the future tragedies that will happen, so every decision feels very meaningful for herself and for the patients that she will be treating. The mix of surgery, the politics, and the romance that she will be having creates constant stakes, keeping the viewers invested in her full journey and growth. But from time to time, you could really use an anime with a very good female protagonist, and this here is for sure one of them that I recommend to you all. Instead of running from her death flags, she decided to marry the final boss of the show. But for people who enjoy smart and, romance-focused fantasy and intelligent protagonists, especially the villainous role, pretty much, but then check out this show. It's called I'm the Villainess, So I'm Taming the Final Boss.
Please, someone could have seen us.
Am I not your husband-to-be?
This anime mixes romance and strategy and villainous reincarnation in a very fun and fast-paced way. But instead of trying to avoid her bad ending, the main character takes control of her fate by targeting the strongest and most dangerous character in the story, and that is the final boss. This bold and confident approach instantly makes the series so engaging, because it's just completely different from slower or more passive reincarnation story plots. But what makes it good is the chemistry between the main characters, the female lead, and of course, the final boss. She is so clever, she's fearless, and she's constantly she outplays every other character. And while the Demon King is powerful but emotionally complex, their dynamic, both of them, really creates good tension, great humor, and emotional moments. Now, this is a brand new anime that is currently airing right now, and it brings a fresh twist to the reincarnation genre by making the main character start from the absolute bottom. Not as a hero, not as a noble, but as a weak little dragon struggling to survive in a very brutal world. The mix of danger and growth and world exploration gives the story a very strong sense of tension, making viewers want to see how far this little dragon can go and what he will become. This makes it a perfect anime because it just delivers both action and very long-term progression. But after dying, the protagonist is reborn as a tiny dragon hatchling in a dangerous forest filled with very powerful monsters and hunters who want to kill him. But instead of gaining instant overpowered abilities, he has to evolve step by step, fight for survival, and slowly grow stronger. This survival and evolution system makes the progression extremely addictive, similar to watching a game character level up from zero to hero. What if being the weakest in a fantasy world meant you had to survive by picking up trash? Thrown away by your family and banished from your village for being labeled as a cursed child, it's time to scavenge trash to survive in the wilderness.
For quite a large sum.
Which bag has the slime? Give it here.
If they found that out, then people would start coming after Sora.
The weakest tamer began a journey to pick up trash, focuses on big survival mechanics, emotional storytelling, and a genuinely weak main character, which is rare in the isekai and fantasy genre. But instead of instantly becoming overpowered, the protagonist struggles to survive in a harsh world where she's rejected and she's forced to live alone. This creates strong emotional tension and makes every small victory or pretty much progression, it just feels meaningful. But what makes it good is the slow and realistic growth. Watching her build trust, find proper allies, and overcome fear just gives the story a grounded and heartfelt tone. But the bond between her and the very small slime creature companion that she finds adds an emotional warmth, making the viewers connect deeply with the journey. But for viewers who enjoy slower and emotional fantasy journeys, then give this one a shot. You won't regret it. This protagonist died 6 times, and every time, the same exact man killed her. So in her 7th life, she decides to marry him instead, and now see how this one will be any different. The 7th time loop combines time loops, political tension, romance, and character mastery in a very satisfying way. But unlike typical villainous stories where the protagonist only remembers one past life, she has lived through 6 different timelines, mastering each and every skill that she wants, being a merchant, a knight, a maid, a scholar, and now she's using all of her knowledge in her 7th life to pretty much make something happen. But what makes it good is the dynamic between her and the prince who killed her in her previous life timelines. Instead of avoiding him, she chooses to marry him this time. But that tension alone creates constant suspense. Is he really her true enemy? Can she change her own fate this time around on her 7th try and not die, I wonder? This last anime here, it has a spoiled little princess who is ruthless, and she's trying not to save pretty much the kingdom. She's just trying not to get executed again, you know, like in her previous life. But this anime adds strong value because it just brings a unique mix of comedy and also redemption and political fantasy to the reincarnation genre. But instead of becoming a hero, the main protagonist is a selfish and spoiled princess who is executed, or should I say killed, after her empire collapses. But she's sent back in time this time and tries to avoid that terrible future, but not out of kindness. She's simply terrified of dying again. But what makes it really worth watching is the contrast between her intentions and how others pretty much view her. But while she's mostly acting out of fear and self-preservation, people around her misunderstand her actions as wisdom and genius. But this creates constant humor while also building a surprisingly emotional and satisfying story to follow along. But it adds a refreshing tone that balances that darker or serious entry, but it will keep viewers entertained and engaged without losing that fantasy stake, you know, that you want to see in the show. But yeah, check out Tier Moon Empire and let me know how you guys find it. If this video did indeed help that empty space of giving you more reincarnation anime to watch, which I hope I did, then do give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments down below which anime you are going to watch from this list. And until next time, I will see you all in the next video.